Hi, everybody. This is Lessons in Grass talking. I am Adela.
Hello, I'm Anna.
My colleague is actually in the mountains, so maybe the response will be slower. We would like to show you the miracles of summer outdoors to lure you outside so that you spend all the time there, also during the school year. We want to lure everybody outside because we believe it's essential for the health of our children. Please work. So our summer challenges are already running. You can see them on our web page, and we already had one webinar about them. And now we bring you the second part. As you can see, we know that the childhood of these children is not so connected to the nature as it was when we were young. So we want to make a change. We are inviting you to enjoy everything that summer offers to you.
This is actually the second part of the webinar because we prepared 60 summer outdoor challenges, which is basically a challenge per day of summer. And you can fit all the challenges in one webinar. So in the first webinar, this is just a short recap. We focused on these 5 topics, and that is discover your place in nature, summer by the water, summer in all senses, summer full of adventures, and creative summer. And within each of these topics, there are 6 challenges. And you can choose according to the level of your advancement. So discover place in nature, that we basically try to find some green space around us. We mapped a place, either a place where we are on a holiday or our local place, because it's always very interesting to see your local place with different eyes. So we were climbing some hills, etc. Summer by the water, we don't have to go too deep into. You all can imagine what what can be by the water, but you just map the forces around you. You observe the life by the water. You can do a water battle and so on. Feeling summer in all senses is different way of experiencing nature, because usually we focus only on our sight, but it's very interesting to involve some other senses. So walking barefoot, playing games that are focused on safety, etc. And we are coming to summer full of adventures. That's something that we all loved as children. So finding some treasures, making maps, exploring some imaginary secret places or islands, and all kinds of these games are involved in this challenge. And of course, we didn't forget the creative children, and we let them create with natural materials. Summer is the best season for opening your mud kitchen, preferably nearby some water source, because everybody and everything can be cleaned. But there are other materials that can be used for creating. So these 5 challenges were covered in our last webinar, and if you're interested in these challenges, you can go to our website lessonsingrass.com, and you'll find this webinar there for free, so you can have a look.
Okay, and now let's
now we should move.
Oh, now let's move to the next 5 challenges. We have prepared animal challenges for you, night challenges. Then we invite you to become summer builders. And also we invite you to use fight as a manner of spending summer outdoors. And then 3 challenges. That will be nice. I will begin with animal challenges. If you sit anywhere in a small place and you sit and you begin watching what's there, you will find many insects, of course, or slugs or some small creatures. And you can start inventing stories about them if you want. Some children can focus for a long time to one small place and observe. For other kids, it will be too big a challenge to spend there more than a minute. But let them discover what's hiding even in the smallest place around them. Their animal neighbors are not hiding only in the grass. Of course, you can go watching into the woods. You can go and watch them by the water. It's very interesting. There are always many insects and birds there. Your animal neighbors live under the stones, under a bark, maybe in a dark cellar or a attic. Sorry. So we encourage children to go and look for who is inhabiting the space with them. There are signs that indicate the presence of some animals, because some of them you won't see by sight, or especially not during the day, but you can observe its footprints. You can observe rests of their lunch. Some, if you have birds of prey around you, you will see a rest of various animals, their fur, their bones. You can also observe, if you are lucky enough to have bears in your area, you will definitely see some trees. Anna could tell you the bears live in the area where she finds herself now. So, and also it's beautiful to find a place where some birds nest, or you can find nests, of course, but also you can find a place where they pick the seeds out of the cones, and you then see many of empty cones on the soil. So this is just a way how to get used to watch everything around you as if it were a story. I think that there are many kids who like stories about hunting, who is eating whom, and as they get accommodated to observe these signs, they will have many stories for you or their friends. It's very essential during the summer to have water. We do have it from the tap. Anna and her family actually do have it from the spring. They have to carry it to the house. But there are also our small neighbors, and during very dry summers, they may suffer. So you can prepare a water dish for them. Don't forget to put stones there so that they don't drown small ones. And then you can go get still and observe who is attending your water dish. For some animals, it's very nice when you build them a den And this is frog's den, which is partially covered by the soil. It should be a damp place if it's for frogs. You can build many dens for different animals. It's up to the children's fantasy. Maybe some of them won't be inhabited, but let them think about who will use a den like this, who can come to visit us. So will we have a hedgehog in the garden? Maybe he will need some place to hide, and then the children can look for the needs of such animals. We describe this a bit in our summer herbarium. We describe which buildings can you build for various animals. And the last one from animal challenges is exploring life cycle development. Again, it's very easy by the water, where you find frogs' eggs and then tadpoles and then mature frogs. But it's not only frogs you can watch there. You can observe many life stadiums of various insects, and it's very interesting to have a book beside you and to be able to look for who is this very funny creature, because there are many creatures you wouldn't imagine how a larval stadium looks like. And if you are lucky enough, you can see maybe somebody changing from one stadium to another. So these were animal challenges.
And we are moving to night challenges. That is a very beautiful topic to be explored, because summer nights are beautiful, they're mysterious, and they're magical. And children may feel a little scared, but they're also very much attracted by summer night adventures. So you should give it a try, and it's like to push their limits. So the first challenge, which is supposed to be the easiest, is the grab a headlamp and go for a nature walk outside, which is seemingly very trivial. You should give it a try, and you'll find that everything looks very different at night. And kids may be a little scared, so don't push them, and let them stay in a safe place near your house, or let them go in pairs or in groups, and explore a familiar route. But at the same time, if they go in a pair or in a group, try to keep them focused. They should stay focused on what's going on around them, rather than chatting and telling some scary stories to each other. And if you want to wake up your senses, and even a bigger challenge, then turn off the lamp and go back without light, and you'll see how your senses will be enlivened and woken up. That was the first challenge. The second challenge is listen to the sounds of the night, and try to feel the night as well. That is a very nice activity that calms down children. It's a great activity before they go to bed. And in this activity, you should just make yourself comfortable and cozy, close your eyes and listen and smell, listen to the sounds of night, and smell what kind of smells you can distinguish in nature. For example, You may smell some mushrooms that you picked during the day, or some berries, and so on. And then don't forget to share your experiences. Either share them with somebody, or you can write them down into your summer diary. And the third challenge is organizing an evening picnic, because sometimes and somewhere, particularly you are located further north, waiting for night can be long, and waiting for the darkness can be long. So fill the time with something pleasant. Organize an evening picnic. You can steal secretly some goodies from home, or you can go to forage for some wild foods and make a surprise picnic for the others. It can be a perfect time to share some stories, to play some games, and also for some deep talks, because seeing the sunset is very magical experience, and seeing and feeling the night coming in is powerful as well. So and of course it's very different when it concerns you and you are in the middle of it, than if you just see the night coming from a window. We have the sunset in here as well. I'm not sure if it's visible, but it's almost gone. So you should try some evening picnic. Another challenge is observing the night sky. All you have to do is lie down, relax, and search for the constellations in the sky. Or if it's too difficult for children, they can make up their own constellations and use their imagination to see some new constellations or creatures. In our family, it's very popular to watch the night sky, and it opens some talks about space and life on the planet Earth. And children usually have many questions concerning this topic. And the next challenge is for the brave ones. So once you get more accommodated with the summer night, and you've already experienced something in the night, venture to sleep out. And this is the real challenge for many children. And for some children, it's quite normal. But you don't have to force yourself to go out in the wild and sleep out in the wilderness right away. You can make small steps. For some children, sleeping behind the cabin in a tent is challenging enough. But the most beautiful and intense experience is sleeping somewhere further away from your cabin and under the starry sky, or without the tent. So try to slowly venture somewhere from your doorstep. And the last challenge, the night challenges topic, is telling stories. Because if our summer is full of adventures and we are experiencing new situations, sometimes it's hard to remember all of them, and sometimes we forget one great moment for the sake of another. So try to capture these moments by telling stories about them to somebody, or you can write it down. You can write a letter or send a postcard about your summer adventures to someone you like, or better yet, capture these moments in your diary, and then you have the nice chronicle of your summer experiences, and it creates lasting memories. So try to write or draw your experiences, or you can glue some natural materials into the diaries, but it's really worth it.
Okay, so now let's move to summer builders. In the night challenges, we were describing new activities, which for some of you may seem not too active. It's quite a lot of observing and so on. But now it's time for children who like to be very active. The first level of this challenge is to build a summer house for fairies. It can be a house, it can be a den, it can be a great palace, whatever comes to their mind. I think that most of the children like this challenge. Build something for somebody, maybe a creature, a living one, or somebody from their fantasy. Actually it's the basic skill for learning mathematics. It's very important that children try to build something in the reality, so that their senses are very woke up and they know what does it mean, parallel, and so on. It's building up their math skills, and we are talking about this a lot in our video course, Math Online, Math Outdoors. Then we continue with building a small bridge over a pond, over a small quantity of water. As soon as they are able to build a small one, they will be able to build bigger and bigger constructions. But they have to begin with something small to get accommodated and to gain the construction skills they will need further on. Our third challenge is to build a sundial. This is also connected with knowing your neighborhood, with knowing the general directions. And also it's a lot of observing and trying. The beginning is easy. You see that all you need is a nail, and then observe, observe, and observe. They can watch the watches and put the stones into right places, and then they can repeat it the other day to see if their sundial is right or not. Children have built some small structures, and for some it's time to move on to build something really huge. If they want to hide away from you or another maybe their siblings, they can build their own den with huge pieces of material, preferably what they find around themselves, but don't hesitate to lend them a piece of, I don't know, big cloth or something they will use. Their fantasy will work, their skills are different, so it's up to them. What do they decide to build and what will they need? Summer is a great time for such adventures because they have so much time to try to have an error and repair it. They don't have to build the perfect den the first day they are outside. They have all the summer to make it, to improve it step by step. And then they can sit in their den and tell stories about what they find around themselves during the day, and how was their night under the stars, and so on. The den is something perfect for their fantasy and for their sense of, it is me and I have my own space, or it is us and we have our own space that belongs to us. We are a group that has built such a place. Very beautiful feeling. Maybe that during the day you will need a shelter from the sun. There are various options. One of them is a teepee. Again, if children have time enough and space enough, they will invent various methods how to shelter themselves from the sun. Just let their fantasy work, just let them, you can give them hints, but don't tell them what do they have to do. Let them go trial and error day by day. They will build the best places you would never have imagined they are able to build. Oh, and the biggest one, the highest level of summer builders is building a place to sleep out. If you have already tried to sleep out and children got accommodated to it, now it's their time to build their own place to sleep out. And maybe they will need to use a piece of something to shelter them from the rain as well. Let's give them the opportunity to learn from the mistakes. It's very important.
And we are moving to the next set of challenges, and they are about fighting. Don't exclude fighting from your play, and don't worry, you won't raise bad people if you let them fight. There is nothing wrong about it, and they need this playful adrenaline, and it doesn't matter if the combat is real or only imaginary, but it's about this sense of having the action. And the most important thing is that everybody is enjoying the game. These games, you have to be a little careful and be considerate to and check regularly if everybody is still having fun, and if it's still comfortable for all the members. But the super easy activity full of action is having a cone war. The only thing that you have to do is to set some hard and fast rules before you start, so that you don't have any misunderstandings. And it's good to aim on your legs and leave the heads out and so on. But it's usually great fun if children some teams and they're having a war over something, for example. The next activity is watching the wind and playing with the wind, because some kids prefer to match their strength with some elements rather than their siblings or friends. And there are many ways how to play with the wind. All you have to do is just take a scarf or a bag with you next time you're going outdoors, and you'll see how kids manage with these easy and simple props, and how much fun they can invent with it. Silent sneaking are the best games, full of adrenaline. I think we all remember from being kids, sneaking for some goodies from mom's pantry and so on. At first, maybe you can set up a challenge for the kids. Give them some goal, and they'll go along, and their imagination will run wild, and soon be immersed in their own sneaking game, and you won't really know about them the whole day long. You should definitely try sneaking games. Water battles are perfect games for hot days, hot days. If you are at the seaside, you fight with the waves, for example, or you can splash water at your garden. And if you on a trip, if you come across some creek or a pond, those are perfect places to start some water battles. These bottle guns are very simple to make, and they're very effective. So try to make your PET bottle guns. All you need to do is just make a hole in the lid. So a nail may come in handy. But once you have the gun, you can go ahead and start the battle. What children really appreciate and really love if adults take part in the battle as well. That gives a lot of joy to them. Make weapons for mammoth hunters, or any other characters from a book you are reading. Summertime is the best time to read with your children, and to read some adventurous stories. And very often children then live out the stories, and they develop many games based on the books they are reading. So pick a story and make some props, like some swords, some slingshots, bows and arrows, some spears, axes from stones, etc. And the last challenge is make a totem pole. Creative children like to themselves through making and crafting things. So if you ask them to make a totem that embodies their summer experiences, or that fits into some place, their favorite summer place, you'll be impressed with the variety of shapes, forms, and materials that they can create with. So you should definitely do some crafting as well. So this was the last challenge from the fighting side, and the last topic is tree challenges.
Trees are everywhere around us, and this may seem as the most simple challenge of the world. Go for a walk and observe trees. There is so much to observe around trees. You once you focus on it, you can be very surprised. There is not only their trunk and their leaves, there is the bark and what's growing on it. And they have so many shades of green. It's sometimes very useful to pack various leaves on a sheet of paper and see what greens are there. And if there are some children that are bored by just observing, but many of them will like this challenge, which slows them down, which gives them time to focus on things that are surrounding them. And during the observation, I think it will be very natural that every child will find their own favorite tree. It will be the one with that special bark. It will be the one that you can rest upon. Maybe for my daughter, their favorite trees are always those she can climb on. So give them the opportunity to find their friend among trees. And if it's in the place that you are inhabiting right in the moment, they can return to their favorite tree, craft around it, give it some nice paint or whatever. I mean, paint by mud, not the real one. And then it's time to explore bark of different trees. It can be surprising for some children and maybe for the adults as well, because trees are really, really different if it comes to their bark. And it differs within one tree as well, because as you see here, these are very young twigs with very fine bark. But be sure that and at the bottom of this tree that there will be a thick bark, and it will be nice for kids that they see how the tree is growing and pulling out the old bark and making various shapes on it. So the comparison of a beech tree to an old oak tree can be very nice, and they will remember, once they compare it, maybe they will remember very easily which tree is which. Yeah, as we mentioned before, summer is a perfect time for reading stories. It can be you who reads the story, but bigger kids read their own ones, and they can find beautiful place around their trees. It can be their favorite tree. It can be the one you saw walking around when you were walking around. And it's perfect time to have a rest and to read your story. And then maybe later on you will remember, oh, I was reading, I don't know, Pirates of the Caribbean, and I was sitting under a fir. This is my daughter's favorite. Climb a tree and watch the world from its branches. Some children they see such a tree and they immediately go and climb it. And they can be inspiration for others who will try as well and maybe are not good enough to climb it, so you will help them. And there are kids who will be very shy to even try. So maybe you can encourage them to climb an easier one first, and then they can try such challenges. You can see that the one who's climbing this tree can climb a rock as well. He is very, very tough. And once they are in the branches, they will feel like in a special room only for them, and they will watch the world from very different perspective, and they can observe animals, or they can invite friends to come up and live some story with them. Trees are perfect. Like for me, when I was small, it was like different dimension the world to be up in the branches. And then it's time to examine an old tree. The decay, the pieces of the bark, what is under the bark, the old bark. Is it still hard, or can we break it easily? There are so many things that you can observe. You will definitely observe some signs of animals inhabiting the tree, because almost every tree has its insects under the bark. So there are very many opportunities what to observe and what to see. It can be useful to have your magnifying glass with you, maybe, and leave kids to observe it in their own way. Maybe they will need to climb it to come into contact with the tree and be interested in what grows on it. So these were the challenges we have prepared for this summer. They are 16. They are all on our web page, and you can find a description of each challenge. This is a simple picture that invites you to go out with your children. They can carry few things. You don't have to carry it all, and they will have a big feeling of, oh, we are here together carrying our bags. This is an adventure. Everything that is called adventure is much easier to undergo.
This is a bonus challenge that you should go out to wilderness for a hike with your children, and spend a night or two outdoors under a tent, or sleeping just without tent. But it's definitely worth trying, and it gives children really lasting memories of spending quality time together.
I would love to repeat our phrase that nature is your best playground, atelier, and pharmacy. We are constantly showing that everything you need, you find around you. You maybe see some herbs that I have collected this summer, and I use them for winter coughs. It's so easy to go out. It's opened. It's every time it's opened, especially in our country where there are no fences to the nature. You can spend your summer really outdoors. And as you maybe have noticed during the webinar, there are many play structures outdoors, and children can create their own. They can create their own toys as well. They collect experiences all the summer through, and it doesn't cost you a cent. I would also state that every child plays differently, maybe outdoors or indoors, but you will notice that some children love to focus on details, and they stay calm for hours observing something around them, while others need to run a lot and shout a lot, and then they will be able to observe something, but it will be for a short while, and then they will have to change for some really activity. And nature is perfect for this, because it offers everything. It offers places for silent observation. It offers places for running, jumping, and discovering. Everybody finds what he needs there. And yes, after the summer, when you return to school, or even during the summer, it depends on your setting, you can use the experiences from nature also to learn the things from the curriculum, maybe. We are here to help you with this. We have many experiences from homeschooling kids in the nature.
Yeah, if you go to our website, lessonsingrass.com, you'll find a lot of inspiration, a lot of resources. There are also webinars on outdoor learning on various topics, such as this one. So you can have a look at that too. And on the website, you can find also many activities and lessons that can be downloaded. Ready-made lesson plans that you just download and use as you go. And if you are even more interested, you can have a look at our teacher's handbooks. These are focused on individual school subjects. So you can choose whichever you like, and the ebook. And you also can follow a YouTube channel where you can find all kinds of short videos on different activities. Those are short tutorials, and there's a lot of information as well. And you can also check out our video courses. Currently, we are working on video courses. At the moment, you can get the first video course ready, and that is mathematics outdoors. So if you want to get a head start for September, you should have a look at our math video course, which is packed with lesson plans, videos, bonuses, etc. So if you're interested in mathematics, you should get it. And you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram as well. And we'll be very happy if yeah. We'll be very happy if you let us know your summer experiences. And we're very glad that you're here with us and you support outdoor learning. And what is even better, that you are taking your children outdoors and spend time with them.
Thank you very much for watching, and we are hoping that you will spend your summer outdoors and get the most beautiful experiences. And we also hope that you will continue with outdoor learning during your year.
Thank you much for today, and bye.